What up, people? What's up? Y'all know what time it is. David Makes Man, Season 1, Episode 9. We are here. We're here to talk about it. So, I got a lot to say. A lot of commentary. Um, we probably gonna do a lot of arguing. We gonna argue in this comment section this week. I already know it, y'all. We gonna argue. And that's fine. I'm here for it. Y'all know me. I'm always here for it. Let's get to it. So we start off this episode. David has with this beautiful funeral scene and sequence that David is, depicting in his head. He has created this whole uh beautiful I don't know if funeral is what you want to call it, but laying to rest of Willie Derrick. Now, I mean, it has beautiful scenes that pull from second line that you see in New Orleans. It has beautiful scenes that you pull from parts of Western Africa when they bury their dead, and scenes from the South here in the United States from when they bury their dead. All of these things merge together to form this beautiful scene where they're all in all white. There's this singer that's singing I Feel Like a Motherless Child. Felicia Rashad is narrating. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And it starts off being about Willie Derrick. And then somewhere in the middle, it morphs into being JG, because now David sees himself as the reason that Willie Derrick has died, because David is the one who introduced these prescription drugs to the Ville. And so by him being responsible for Willie Derrick's death, that also makes him feel like he's responsible perhaps for uh perhaps what may be the death of his own um brother, JG. And you go from seeing Willie Derrick's mom wailing, I mean, just wailing, when she's crying, to then it morphs into Glow, David's mom, doing the same thing, because that was when it morphed into JG being dead. And the one thing, and I guess, y'all let me know in the comments if they do it in your respective cities as well. But it's a big thing in Miami where you got to have, when people die, you're gonna have the T-shirts with their picture on it. You're gonna have the little buttons that the little buttons that you clip on yourself, hats, all kinds of stuff that people do to pay respects to someone in their family who dies. Matter of fact, I'm looking at two shirts from my family, one from when my uncle died, one from when my grandmother died. We had shirts, hats. My cousin had shoes with their pictures on. That's something we do. So I saw that in there. Y'all let me know if that's something you do in your city as well when people die. So a lot of it was beautiful. Um, and then David wakes up into reality, and there is no funeral. They're preparing for this storm that's a coming, and Willie Derrick's mom is just screaming. Um, and Miss Elijah comes out and says, it's a shame that we can't even really mourn the death because we got to prepare for this storm. Let me say also, this is probably my least favorite episode of the season. I understand in writing, you got to kind of do that. You got to give a little lull before the season finale, so it sensationalizes the season finale and makes the season finale seem much greater, because the episode just before was a little subpar. This episode was subpar. Now, knowing what I know about the writing and the filming of this show, is this: the way they film is they will film in one location. For example, let's use the school for example. they will film all of the scenes for like 4 or 5 episodes that one time on one day. So they may be at the school location all day long and they will film all of the scenes that are going to be at the school for like 3, 4, or 5 episodes at one time. So the actors will have to change clothes, they'll have to do the lines and act out the parts from different scenes for multiple episodes all in the same day. It's not like they do like a lot of shows where they'll shoot everything for one episode and then they'll move to the next episode. They don't do that here. They do it based on the location. Knowing that most of the locations in this episode were locations where we haven't been before. At Ray's house, we only were at Ray's house for a small segment of the episode. I forgot if it was episode 5 or 6, something like that. But most of it's at Ray's house and at Glow's mom's house. Okay, at Glow's mama house. And so it felt different. It felt very different from what we normally get from the show. So we then see David at home. They got to prepare for this storm. So they're getting ready to leave and go. They got to find somewhere to go. David goes underneath the bed, gets money because and it's a lot of money too, but he's getting money. He goes out to the living room, tell his mom, "Listen, we gotta go somewhere." Because the mom Glow ain't even started preparing for them to leave, and he was like, "Rent lady gonna come telling us that we gotta go. You need to get ready." So David tells his mom, "Listen, go get ready because we gotta leave. We can't be here during the storm." She tells JG go pack a bag, all that in the third. Next thing we're at Ray's house. Now Ray seems to be avoiding going to the Ville for sake of trying to avoid light bright, turn on the magic of colored lights, as well as avoiding his uncle. And then his mom says, "Well, your uncle is coming over here to ride out the storm here at our house." So there goes that plan. Rent lady is going around asking people where they gonna go. Where are you going? And so she asks Glow, where you going? And Glow really ain't have nowhere to go. And she says, "Well, ain't your mama on your emergency contact or whatnot?" So Glow's trying to figure it out. Shinobi tells the rent lady, "I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying here." Shinobi also is being haunted by Willie Derrick. And Willie Derrick's not even really talking to him. Willie Derrick's just sitting there staring at him. So he's being haunted by that. He's losing sleep. He's just out of it. He is really this whole death is really tearing him up. David, then you see David, he's outside talking to Tara. Tara, she's in her feelings, crying all over Willie Derrick. Um, and then you see this scene with David. He's imagining himself like almost caressing her or comforting her, but then he snaps back into it, and she has to go because her mom, they got to evacuate as well. And her mom is saying, "Hey, we got to go. We got to go." Now I'm gonna say this about this: that this is the hood in Miami. Well, Homestead, which is suburb of Miami. I grew up in the hood in Miami, where death and dying is a part of life. You learn about death and dying early on as a child. And I know they probably are spotlighting this for the sake of the television show. But just thinking of what I know about being in the hood, living in the hood, somebody dies, be it a child or not, ain't that much crying, ain't that much. There have been a couple instances where it's happened like that. Normally, it's not a little boy. Normally it's a little girl. You might see a little girl that gets shot in the crosshairs of gang violence or something like that. And there's this neighborhood outcry of stop the violence. But and maybe this is kind of that, but it's kind of seemed like they were really carrying on, and it was like really. And growing up in the hood, we saw many of kids died, and many of people, lose their life, and there wasn't this kind of um really just carrying on like they were. And I wrote that down. I mean, they seemed really distraught, and that's what I had to say about that. So next, Teo comes to Ray's mama house. And just as Ray was trying to leave and get out, and so now he can't go nowhere. And you know that means it's trouble in China, honey, because Teo is gonna get some straightening with Ray. Okay. So then we got this hurricane party going on at JG's granddad's house because that's where Glow done took David and JG to JG's granddad's house. Now, this is common in Miami. There will be a hurricane a coming, and we are so hurricane ready. We are so used to hurricanes in Miami. There are actually people who have hurricane parties to ride out the storm, partying, drinking, smoking, doing whatever, eating, smoke, all that. People, that's a real thing in Miami. People have hurricane parties. Um, Glow is over there drinking with JG's granddad, and David takes her drink from her and takes a sip and takes it from her, and she's all kind of out of sorts about it. She starts to get kind of stern with David, and David does like he always does with his mom. When his mom gets serious with him, he deflects. That's his defense mechanism. He always finds a way to deflect and talk about something else to get his mom from being as upset. And I think he does that because he knows when his mom gets really upset, it drives her back to the drugs. Okay? So he immediately say, "Well, where's JG?" Deflecting. And so the mom goes with him to go find JG. JG is out back on the back patio or on the back porch or whatever, talking. It looks like he's talking to himself. And the mom says, "You talking to yourself?" Because she thinks he's, maybe having a psychological moment over the loss of his friend Willie Derrick. Child, he's talking to some trick, some skank who's out there with him, and it's on. And she got a little pipe. She's either smoking meth or smoking crack, one of the two. And so Glow is like, "Get JG, we gotta go because we ain't staying here. All this going on." Then we back at Ray's house. Now Teo confronts Ray. This is where we have the confrontation between Teo and Ray. And Teo asks Ray all of these questions. Why is an 11-year-old dying on your watch? I mean, like, what the fuck is going? Are you really in charge? You need to act like you are. Like he asks all the right questions that you want to ask. And Teo tells Ray, you need to be the leader. If you in charge, you need to act like it. So he asks Ray, well, what happened? Da 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 da. And Ray tells him, David stepped up. David, did the damn thing, and David really took charge and stepped up. And we already know Teo likes David. So he then asks him about the money. Why was there more money than normal? This, that, and the third. And while they're going through all of this, who knocks at the door? Light bright, turn on the magic of colored lights. Light bright, turn on the magic of, all of that. Anyway, he comes over. Ray is deer in the headlights, okay? When he sees Desmond Light Bright come over, he is shooketh. He is spooked when he sees him come over. Because he knows when Light Bright comes, trouble comes. Because Light Bright is the hitman. Light Bright is the one. Light Bright is the muscle. Okay? So then we fast forward. They done left JG's Glow, and David and JG done left JG granddad house. They on the bus. They going over to Glow Mama house, and Glow don't see it for her mama. We'll find out why in a few later. But Glow is not here for the mama, and David starts to see that his mom once again that his mom is getting upset about having to go to her mom's house. And what does he do? Immediately deflects and says, "Well, I think I got a good shot at getting into Hurston." He starts talking about something else to get her mind off of it, deflecting. And so they start to talk about that. Then she asks David, "Is Sarah still missing?" That's what Glow asked David. She was like, "You sure you haven't heard from Sarah or whatnot?" We'll skip to that. We'll get to that later. So when they get over to Glow Mama house, Glow Mama don't. We already know from the phone conversations. Glow Mama, who's played by Lita Rashawn Fuqua, who's a whole porker now. She used to be skinny and fine. Now she's a whole ass porker, and I don't mean to body shame, but she's kind of plump. And it would be one thing if she was always big, but Mama Girl was thin, and now she's fat. Hello, diabetes, somebody. I'm just saying. Anyway, but she's real rude. She's just very rude and very out of sorts, out of order, and out of pocket with them. Even with her grandkids and whatnot. Back at Ray's house, they're eating dinner. Ray and Light Bright turn on the magic of colored lights is going back and forth with each other the whole time. Light Bright tells that he used to be married, but I think he's separated, and his ex-wife and his kids went up to New York to escape the storm and to just get away for a little bit. And so Ray, who does is like, "Why the fuck are you here? Like, why are you not with your family?" And he was like, "It sounds like you a deadbeat dad if you ask me." And Light Bright references, "I'm a deadbeat dad. What about your deadbeat dad?" And he's referencing Sky. Ray gets in his feelings, grabs the knife, confronts, tries to he pulls the knife on Light Bright. Light Bright ain't here for it. Light Bright does what Light Bright does. Light Bright slams him onto the table, knocks all the food out of the way, starts choking out, punches Rage, start choking him out. And Teo has to pull a gun on Light Bright to get him off of Ray, because this is his sister's house, and that is his nephew. And so he pulls a gun on Light Bright. And it's like you're seeing that everything that David told him about Light Bright is actually even though Ray wasn't right for what he did either. Anyway, Ray then talks to his mom. Him and his mom, they talk. His mom is patching up his little cut he got on his eye, and they talk about Ray's dad. And we learned that the mom tell him, "Listen, you don't have to try to be tough guy. Your dad didn't want that for you. Your dad didn't want you in this drug game." And the mom lets him, "I know what you're doing." The mom says, "I used to do that." And so Ray's surprised. She was like, "Now I just do it over the counter now, but I've been there. I've done that. I was about that life." Um, then the uncle calls Ray out there again, and this is after the whole tussle up. Ray, Tails then tells Ray, "Listen, as much as I want to do something and put hands to you or take you out, I can't, because it will kill my sister." So then Ray tells him all about the prescription drugs they've been doing. This that he opens up to Teo and tells him everything that they've been doing. Ray then accuses Lightbright of. I was confused, and I know y'all gonna tell me in the comment section. I was confused on whether or not he was actually saying that Lightbright was stealing from them or what. But he accused Lightbright of doing something that made Teo take, take a step back and be like, "Really?" Then we're back at Glow's house, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This scene right here is what made me not like this episode. Okay. This is the scene where we find out about Glow being abused as a child by her dad, her mom's husband, her dad. And the acting in this was very mediocre. Very mediocre at best. The storylines were disjointed, disconnected, dis this I mean this everything. I didn't like it. It wasn't, the storylines were not smooth. The plot lines were not smooth in this section. Glow's mom blames her for everything. She doesn't believe. She refuses to believe Glow when she says, Glow says her dad was molesting her. She said even the time when the mom caught the dad literally on top of her, and she was like, "Oh, your dad was probably just trying to shut you up from being all that." Just a mess. I did not. This scene really kind of bothered me. I felt that it was subpar for this series. It was beneath our level of we have now, gotten conditioned to have a certain expectation of this show, and we don't want to see our expectations not being met. And I felt that this whole scene, we didn't meet, we did not meet our expectations. I neglected to say, while they were at their house, the grandmother shows David a picture of his dad and stuff, because she has a picture of David's dad and so forth. So anyway, um, there's this whole scene with Glow crying and she's upset, and David comes out there, and David's alludes to him being a mistake and this, that, and the third. He says something to her about, oh, if you hadn't did what you did with my dad. I forgot the dad's name. I don't remember. I'm getting like really BTV now. Shouts out to my girl really BTV. I can't even remember name. The mom slaps him, and then she's crying and she walks off. The grandmother comes and comforts David. But like I said, this scene, it just didn't feel well. I did not enjoy it. I was not moved. And as much as people tried to tell me that this episode was going to take me out, it did not take me out at all. Not even the opening scene with the whole laid to rest montage. I didn't get taken out by that. I did not shed a single tear this episode. But I know y'all gonna argue. Y'all gonna argue with me in the comment section, and we're here for it. But it seemed forced. That was the word I was looking for. A lot of this scene seemed forced. Um, Now the next thing we see, Glow is David's in the bathroom. Glow comes in the bathroom and she pulls this. She's looking at the prescription drug. Then she pulls this little rubber thing or something out of the septic tank or the little toilet tank part. I didn't understand what Glow was trying to do here in the bathroom. And I know y'all gonna tell me that. I really need y'all to tell me what was going on. Because I was really trying to figure out what was Glow trying to do or looking to do or looking for in this bathroom at the time. David then he tells his mom, "Go lay down. I'll take care of this." But I didn't couldn't figure out what he was taking care of. But he comes in there later. He gives her some drugs, probably some of the drugs she used to take, and he asks her if she needs some more water because she takes the drugs. She does all the time. Like I told y'all, anytime his mom gets upset or in her feelings about something, he tries to deflect. But now he sees that there's no deflection that's going to take away from what his mom is feeling right now. Um, so David actually brings her the drugs. She takes them. And then she asks him to take down this picture of Jesus. Now I first thought this was symbolic because the mom was over there trying to preach to her and preach Jesus, 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 Jesus to her and the Bible. Meanwhile, ignoring her saying that she got raped. So I thought that's why she was taking it down. But then we start to see Glow talk about her childhood and how she wasn't allowed to do anything as a child. And when she got on her own, she wanted to go have fun. And Miss Elijah was the one who helped her have fun. We learned that David's middle name is Elijah, named after Miss Elijah. So his name is David Elijah Young. David is his middle name is Elijah after Miss Elijah. Because she talks about how sometimes your friends are the most important thing you got. And we learn that Glow and Miss Elijah are like this. So naturally, Miss Elijah told Glow about what happened, where Sarah is and what happened with her. And Sarah and David lets I'm sorry, Glow lets David know. I know. about Saren? Have you heard from him? And so she basically like, listen, I already know you can't lie to me. So then David gets this call from somebody, one of the drug dope boys or whatever, and they're calling about can they stop moving again? And David said, "Don't call this number no more. I'll let you know when we gonna start serving again." And then we have this closing montage where you see a bunch of different scenes. You see Shinobi being haunted by Willie Derrick. You see Miss Elijah with the rent lady, and they're playing cards to get through the storm. And everything that everybody's doing to get through the storm. Felicia Rashad is in her feelings, and she's reminiscing. I mean, with Woodstrap, Felicia Rashad's character, she's sad about Saren. We see Tara. She kneels down to pray and tells God, "I know I ain't did this in a long time, but I want to pray." She's praying. David is still we see that David still either has the note from Sarah or a note from Sarah that Sarah left for him. And then we see this scene where it's two people in a bed. I thought it was Shinobi and some girl, but I couldn't make it out. It was kind of blurry. I know y'all gonna tell me in the comment section who those two people were. And then after that, that was the end of the episode. It was like over. And I was like, oh, okay. It was kind of over. And oh, the last scene was you see Saren. Saren is in Tampa. He's in this car. Some guy gets out the car, goes and gets some food and something to drink, brings it back to the car. You never see who the guy is, but you see that Saren turns and talks to him and says thank you because he bought him, food and something to drink. And that was where it ended. So I'm assuming that means that we'll find out next episode who's Saren is with and so forth. Now next week is the season finale. I'm going to try to make my review under 45 minutes for that season finale next week. We'll see. That's all I got for y'all. Um, we'll be back next week. Y'all know I love this show. Y'all know what time it is. Time to get down in these comments and aga about what y'all saw. And let me know about all of those scenes I told y'all to tell me about in the comment section, okay? We getting down in the comments, y'all. I'm out. We'll be back next week for the season finale. Yes, I am just as upset as you are that the season is about to be over, but it is what it is. Can we go back to the days when a season meant like 20 plus episodes? Remember those days when you said a season and that meant, oh, that's going to be at least 20 episodes, 22 to 24 episodes? What happened to that? Just saying. Anyway, we out here, y'all. We out.